Hey everyone, this is Sarah from GlitchFeed, and I'm here with Ian and with the Behemoth, and we were at RTX checking out 2 games that they're showcasing this weekend. So one of the big games that we got to demo is Pit People.
Yes.
Do you mind giving us a little idea of, if no one's heard of it, what Pit People really is?
Yeah. Pit People, formerly Game 4, just so
Right.
to not confuse anybody. It was like, wasn't there a Game 4 game? So Game 4 equals Pit People.
Mm-hmm.
So now we can put Game 4 behind us. But it is a fast-paced, turn-based co-op adventure. Is what we're calling it. Through time and space. I forgot, I have an extended pitch.
Through time and space.
Through time and space. In case, like, you played it, right?
I played a little bit, but there's no space or time change, so I didn't get that.
Yeah, but I mean, there's stuff that is weird.
There's a space bear that crashed into the planet. If you haven't seen that, you should check out the trailer. Trust me on that one.
Yeah, so in terms of story, it's a series of characters who all come from various different backgrounds and get their new start in the pit, which hence Pit People in the arena setting. And there's some space bears and there's some space blood, and they all have some very different, I would say, kind of tragic events that happen to them and set them on this path where they all converge into a fighting unit.
Okay. And so, despite the fact that it's called Pit People, we saw that you aren't just only fighting in the pits, though that is an option.
Correct.
You actually get to explore the world, which involves candy and, I don't know, I saw Candyland that was going on there we had to look at.
Yeah, some of the terrain and out there as you're traveling in the different worlds is you're going to see some like Candyland type areas. I can't say Candyland. Candy-esque terrain.
Wait, maybe like ice. Well, it looks like cake.
Yeah.
It looks like cake to me. So
there's definitely going to be some digital realms where everything looks like circuitry. There's obviously some robot characters in there who could teleport, who you could also play as. There's also just dusty canyon terrains, and it's going to be all over the place, as well as some very like cemetery. And there's tons. I can't even think of all the different types of like worlds you're going to explore.
You're going through time and space, so there's obviously going to be a lot of really strange places you're going to see on your travels.
Yeah, you're going to see robots, helicopters, zombies, and vampires along the way.
Is it helicopter zombies, or are those 2 separate things?
No, 2 separate things.
Okay.
And now I'm like, helicopter zombie?
What would that look like? Yeah.
I don't even know.
Would it be a helicopter?
Is the helicopter the zombie, or is it a zombie like piloting the helicopter?
Put that on a DLC, maybe.
All right.
Yeah, so also another thing I saw was the idea of items. There are items in there, much like any game, you can actually customize how you look, how you play, the weapons you use. So can you give us a little bit more idea of like how expansive that itemized customization is?
Yeah, so you could, with every character or unit, you can, fighter, it's all these different words for it.
Yeah.
You can customize everybody. Obviously, the human character is going to be the most customizable with their shield or any offhand weapon, and then their primary weapon. It could be melee, it could be long range. So sword, throwing axes that stun, maybe arrow for range, or maybe a like mortar for long range.
Right.
And then of course helmets as well, and everything affects how they react and play when they're actually fighting. So you could get encumbered and stuff like that.
Oh.
One thing to point out is that when they are fighting, it takes all that into account, and you may have noticed you don't really tell what your players to do.
Yes.
It's really a game about positioning. You like go here, and then press the button or pull the lever. And then whatever happens, you just got to watch it play out.
Right, they did tell me. They're like, they all have a mind of their own, so you can tell them where to go, but if they're surrounded, obviously they're going to pick whatever target they feel like. And you'd think they'd go for the big target, but they just go wherever, and you don't really expect that. So there is strategy in that.
Exactly. There's strategy and placement, but when you are in those moments, you're like, why did you do that?
Exactly.
Like, no!
I'm sitting there, I'm like, why don't you go for the big guy that's doing the most damage? They go for the little guys. But, it's definitely a lot of fun. So when can we expect this to maybe come out? Or
Tomorrow.
I'm
Tomorrow.
joking.
I'm totally joking. Don't quote me. I'm totally joking. No, we don't have a release date just yet. So.
Yeah. So sometimes, eventually.
Yeah, sometime in life.
But it looks good. I got a chance to demo it. It definitely was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it.
Cool.
But I did see there's something else you guys have on the floor, which is Castle Crashers Remastered.
Yes. Castle Crashers Remastered. Mm-hmm. So we're showing that around the corner in our 4-player arcade setup, which is the first arcade we ever built when we said, let's build arcades. and we're now running at 60 frames per second. We up-resed all the textures and a whole bunch of little things here and there to make everything just run and perform better, as well as a brand new mini game called Back Off Barbarian, where, and this is where I completely always fail in trying to describe it. It's basically like a game of like keep away or get away, where you're being chased. It's like a game of chase, but the way you traverse is always ever changing in terms of what button you press. So I kind of liken it to like if you speak one language, it's like you're translating a language into another language to understand where you're going. This probably makes no sense whatsoever, but it's the only way I can explain how it works.
When I was watching it on the video, it definitely was a square, so it's a nice little like square base. So it's not like Castle Crashers where you have the full lanes. So you're kind of jumping from square to square, and you always have to, what it looks like, you always have to kind of pay attention not only to your character, but everyone moving around you.
Yeah.
So it's really kind of, you see some people like messing around, jumping all over the place, but you have strategy involved. It's a lot different compared to Castle Crashers itself.
Yeah, and it's super frenetic, and like when we play just ourselves in the office, we just start screaming and yelling. So we're excited to make some standalone stations for those as well, and hope and get them out onto the show floor.
So is there, besides that, I know the increased textures, the 60 frames per second, and it's coming to the systems. I mean, is there anything else coming? Is this going to be continuous, or is this just a straight exciting remaster, that's it? Like, is there any potential for more?
There's always potential for more. I don't want to...
I mean,
like
you don't, it's fine, yeah.
DLC, this and that. We just made this new thing. We wanted to bring it to the new consoles. And keep Castle Crashers alive, basically. And we did a little few things on the way. Like, nothing really to announce in terms of additional add-ons. We did the mini game, and
you've just always been known to have like cross games coming in, like all of the other games showing up. So I was just curious if there's potential, maybe.
There's always potential, and we own all our IP. We're self-published, we're our own company, and so it's fun. We have a lot of freedom for those things to pop up in all the different games.
Especially with pit people, you see a lot of the same, like the barbarians kind of showing up. The look and feel, like that art style, is always really cool to see, and the music was great as well.
Oh,
so
awesome.
yeah, I was jamming a little bit. I was giving my co-interviewer, I was just passing along to him, like, check out this music, it's great. It's a lot of fun, you guys. Definitely check it out. Look into it if you haven't heard of Pit People, or, I mean, Castle Crashers. I don't know why you haven't. That game is crazy. But thanks again for sitting down, talking to us, letting us play a demo.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for stopping by.
Of course.